Hey guys, how you doing today? I've got plant mail, and I am so excited to open this up and check this out. Today's Wednesday. I've done like, this will be my third video already this morning, Wednesday morning. But this was supposed to have came Monday, and of course it got stuck in the mail. Can you guys guess what I bought? Yup. Another carnivorous plant. Yay. Let's open this baby up. See what we got. Well, I know what I got, but I am so excited. You guys know I have a lot of pinguiculas, or aka butterworts. I also have sarracenas. I used to have nepenthes, but I kind of sort of killed them. They were doing really, really good, and then all of a sudden one day just they croaked. Well, the one got spider mites. My big mother plant, I had a big, huge mother plant. If any of you guys have been watching me for a while, you've probably seen it, but she is no more. She got spider mites, and that was a bummer. I do want to get another one. I love the pitcher plants. But this little girl is going to be going in my bog garden outside that I have. I have sarracenas out there that they have to stay out there all winter. They have to have that winter cold to die down and rest. And this is one of them. I know she doesn't look like much right now. They cut the pictures off before they send them, which is fine. I'm used to that. So they shipped her in a wet paper towel in a baggie. And this little girl is a Sarracena minor, variegated. Okay, now here we go with the weird names. Ochinophencensis times Alata. Yeah. I will put a picture up of her, of what she will look like when she starts growing her pictures out. Anyways, what I want to do is I got all her stuff here ready to get her potted up. Now this is a whole different ball game with the Sarracenas, and the way that, let's see, I want to say he's got a tag. I thought it was tape. Gosh, sometimes, I'll tell you, my brain. He's already got a tag. Good, I won't have to make a tag. Wonderful. And I am going to save my packing material. But these, anyways, are a whole different ball game of how they like to be potted up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to pot up the sarracenas. The butterworts or the pinguiculas, you can do those in just all spag. They like that. They're fine. I mix a little bit of perlite in with mine. But the sarracenas are different. So what you need with the sarracenas is, first of all, you need a container, obviously, to put your potting medium in. And then you need another container. Let me try to fix my camera. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. But what you want is a container full of water, something that you can keep water in it at all times. And you want to keep your water line. Oh, my pot's crooked. But you want to keep your water line above the bottom of your pot at all times. What I usually do is, once mine starts getting about right here, I will just fill it right back up to this point. But I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now for sarracenas, because they're a cold temperate and they grow differently, you want to use peat. I'm going to dump that in my dish, and I might need a little bit more. And then you want perlite. You want a lot of perlite. I put a lot of perlite in mine because these guys stay wet all the time. And you want to use peat, or you could use cocoa coir. I use cocoa coir on mine too, but I have the peat and I kind of wanted to use it up. But you don't want any kind of nutrient in your soil. There, it just made a mess. I'm trying to get up a little bit higher, and that's too high. But anyways, you don't want to use regular potting soil. You don't want to use any kind of a fertilizer on these guys. They get their nutrients from bugs. That's what they do. But until they start catching bugs, they will be perfectly fine. They'll still grow. And once they start catching bugs, they will really thrive. And they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I've got my peat, I've got my perlite, I've got sphagnum that I wet down. I'm just going to wring some of that out. And this is long fiber sphagnum. This is the stuff I love. That other sphagnum moss that I had, oh, I hated that stuff. This is really nice. This is New Zealand spag. So I'm cutting it up a little bit, or, you know, pulling it apart. I'm not actually cutting it. But I have 2 outside of my bog garden that are in my greenhouse. Now they stay outside all year long, even in the winter, even in freezing weather. They've stayed, well, the first year I had them, they stayed right in my greenhouse, because my greenhouse is more or less a cold frame, to be quite honest. That's what I'm using it for right now. But, and then in the summertime I put my orchids, and I have a few other plants in there. I'm going to add some more, spag. I'm going to wet that down a little bit. Man, that peat moss is dry. I forgot I even had it. I found it in one of my totes when I was cleaning my plant room not too long ago. I found it and I was like, oh geez, I didn't even know I had peat, because I've been buying in the cocoa coir, because I really like that a lot better than peat. So what you want to do is, I just got a little bit of spag in there. I'm going to put more in. This peat is really dry. Wow. It's like a dust bowl. Speaking of a dust bowl, I'm going to pour that water in there. I want my peat to be, I want her roots to be able to start absorbing water immediately. Oh, sorry, that was an awful sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my pot. And that's great, it's got water down in there. That'll get it rolling. Now I am going to put her out in my bog garden with the rest of my Sarracenias. But why I'm not doing that, which was my plan, but we got a bunch of snow last night. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of listening to me whine and cry and gripe about that damn snow. But, ugh. I mean, excuse me, dang. Oops, I got too much of them. I need to get my plant in here. So yeah, the Sarracenias are a little bit different. I'm going to let her kind of sit here and, ooh yeah, she's soaking up that water good. It's getting really from the bottom of my container. It's soaking up really good, so I'm going to add just a little bit more. But she's got a really long root system, so... But once because I have my greenhouses all closed tight, and I'm not going to go out there and go in and pot her out in the freezing cold. But I need to wipe off my hands here. My hands are always so grimy. I think I still have too much soil in here for right now for her little root system. Look at all those beautiful roots. I love it. They look like little ferny. I'm going to take some of this out because I want to get her in there safely without breaking her roots. But that peat and perlite is really nice and wet now. So what you want to do is set her down in here. I want her to sit about like that on the pot. So I'm just going to drop my mixture in around her, being very careful not to break her roots. Now this is dry. I'm going to add just a little bit of well, it's okay. It'll soak up, I guess. I'll keep an eye on her. So yeah, these are really nice plants, the Sarracenas, but you do have to, they do need that winter cold down, freeze down, cold winter rest, because that is just the kind of plant that they are. They're deciduous. All of their leaves start falling off midwinter and browning out. Some of them will even turn black. I cut mine. Once I start seeing them, I let the plant eat down as much of the leaves as she can before I cut them off. Some you can even leave them on. It really doesn't matter. There's no rocket science to it, really. So there she goes. She looks pretty good. She will continue to keep that peat. Will continue to keep soaking that up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm just going to see how far that drains down, and then I'll add some more. And you can even put a little bit of spagger on the top if you want to, but you know, I just don't really find it really super necessary. I'm gonna put some more water in here because I want her jar. Ugh, good God, so much. I'm just waiting because that's still, the water line is still rising, if you guys can see it. It's still rising and rising. Put her tag in. And I will put, if I haven't already, I will put a picture up of this particular cross, Sarracena cross. But I know she's not nothing to look at right now. But yeah, these, oh, uh, Sarracena, which is, it's actually an American pitcher plant. It's just a genus of the carnivorous plants, and it can thrive in a lot of different conditions worldwide, you know, like all around the world. But mostly they're native to eastern of the United States, like Texas, the Great Lakes, and I believe it was like southeastern or southwestern Canada or something like that. Um, but you know, they do grow in more of a cold temperate region, so that is why they have to have that cold in order to thrive. They need that cold and they need to rest. And you still, even though they're in the cold and they're sleeping, you know, they're gone dormant, you still have to keep them wet. So I still have to go outside and make sure that her container, her bog garden, is wet, or container. But they get a long funnel shaped type leaf, and they get the cups in them, and that's where the nutrients come in. They make their own. It's like a liquid inside the cup, and it attracts the bugs like bees, flies, you know, whatever can fit down in that cup that can smell. It's like a yeah, where's my brain? Come on. So it's like a sweet smelling smell, like a nectar type is what I'm trying to think of. And then the bugs will go in there. They get stuck in the liquid that's in the bottom of the cup, and then they can't get out because there's like little hairs down along that tube. So when they try to crawl out, it kind of stops them, and they're slippery and they're sticky and they can't get out. And then over time, the plant will just dissolve. That liquid that's inside the cup will dissolve the bug, and that's where the carnivorous plants get their nutrients from. It's kind of like the pinguiculas. Now they're totally different because those little boogers, and they can't catch anything too big, the pinguiculas. You can get gnats, little tiny itty bitty fruit flies, any bug that's super tiny, like maybe a tiny little ant. I don't know if it would catch a big ant. I've never personally seen ants on any of mine, but I suppose if I put it outside and an ant crawled across it, it would get stuck. But what happens with the pinguiculas is the bug just lands on the plant and it gets stuck. It's not super sticky leaf. I mean, I can touch it and it doesn't feel sticky to me, but it feels sort of fuzzy-ish, like. But then what happens is when the gnat gets stuck on it, or whatever, the plant dissolves the bug, and what will be like a black gnat will eventually, over like a week or so, I don't know how long it really takes, I've never timed it, but it'll start turning brown, like it's drying up, and then pretty soon it'll be just like an exoskeleton that's left of it, and then pretty soon that will diminish and go away too. The plant just eats everything, which is the same thing more or less as the Sarracenas do, so just in a totally different way. And they come from a totally different zone, totally different care, totally different way to pot them up. So anyways, I am just rattling on and on and on, but that is how it works. And also with these Sarracenas, you can't, I mean, you could grow them, like if you had a true south windowsill, which true south, when I say a true south windowsill, or a true west, that means you have no shade blocking it, no trees, no bushes, nothing. It is just pure southern light all day long. But you would still have to play around with that. I suppose you probably could grow it under a really strong grow light, but they just do so much better. I mean, they can take full sun. You know, you can mine are in full sun all day long, and that's how they like it. Like the pinguiculas, if you tried to put a pinguicula out in the full sun, oh, it would be toast. Quick. But anyways, I think that is about it. They have to have a dormancy. They have to be able to stay outside. Last year I put mine right out on the back porch because my greenhouse was, the plastic was blown off of it. So I just kept her on my back porch, that way I could keep an eye on her and keep her watered. But, beautiful plant. I'm going to let you guys go, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Peace. I'll let you guys see. She's not hardly nothing, but she will be. Hopefully, if I don't kill her. Bye, guys. Peace.